beautiful day. Look at that wonderful beach. All of this wonderful energy, wonderful prana, feeding and nourishing the brain, which is the body. They're all connected. Wonderful. And I'm so grateful of life itself. That's a receiving energy that you can receive, to be grateful no matter what circumstance. Grateful to be alive. And when your mind opens up to that, that's nourishment that comes to the body.
Toothpaste.
This is the mud pool in India. Mud is at the bottom. La 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 la. La la la. The whole pool. You get that silky smooth skin. Never ends. Cultivate. But there,
take no more an earthly food, but eat the fruit and plants of paradise. For thou hast changed my senses' habitude from mortal pleasure to divine surprise. Hearing and sight are now an ecstasy, and all the fragrances of earth disclose a sweetness matching an intensity, odor of the crimson marvel of the rose. In every context, deep, invading thrill that lasts as if its source were infinite, I feel thy touch, thy bliss imperishable is crowded into that moment of delight. The body burns with thy rapture's sacred fire, pure, passionate, holy, virgin of desire.
Oh, that is so sweet. Wow.
It's your life, no?
That is my life. Oh my gosh. That sure is. Well, once again, we've been working with these energies, and everybody here is a breatharian. That's what it is. We're all feeding off of this light. All we're doing is what? Keep cultivating and growing bigger and bigger as one entity. Because that's what we are in reality. Thank y'all once again. Oh, man.
And also, this group again collected something for your new massage.
Oh, my gosh. Whoa. The new massage. Oh, man. Boy, massages is transforming me. It's going deep into the soul. Better than expected. Now, for many of y'all going on that group pranic journey of food freedom. How y'all feeling?
Great.
I know a lot of y'all started last night. And like some of y'all feeling great. And some of y'all is going to go till the night, and then some of y'all is going to take it to the next morning, which is good. Now notice I didn't call it fasting, because it's not fasting. Because everybody here who's doing that, you're working with meditations and cultivating energy. So the pranic journey is totally different than conventional fasting out in the world. Conventional fasting out in the world is temporary for the physical body. It's temporary. So that means, what did that mean? That person who's fasting cannot go very long times without no food. But when you learn what the power of energy cultivation is, what all meditation should be, that person could go a very long time without food or indefinitely, depending on their energetic growth. And how do you get energetic growth? Just like when you grow from a baby to an adult, there was a process that took place. There ain't no baby that popped out 6 feet tall with a deep voice and a beard. No, it didn't. It's the same energetically. That's why we say there's a baby breatharian, a teenage breatharian, and an adult breatharian. And the reason why we say that, because that person was energetically cultivating themselves. Now, about 2 years ago, here in India, I was with a group called Ojas. They're a holistic group. Any of y'all ever heard of them? I believe their headquarters is in Mumbai, but they all over. Real big group, thousands of people. Ojas, A-J-A-S. And they deal with holistic medicine. What? Huh?
OJs.
Oh, OJs. But Ojas are my accent. All right, here we go. Because some even say Ojas, depending on how you're coming at it. I don't know. But anyway, I was proud to get an award from them one year. They gave me an award, and this is it. It was the Ojas Lifetime Achievement Award for Mother Nature, 2019. But they gave it to me for I teach human health through the energy of the air and light. That's what I teach. I teach human health through the energy of the air and light. I'm glad how they wrote that up, because that takes the breatharian knowledge, act like it's something mythical. It's not. All I'm teaching is what they call in medical science today, and also the medical field, energy medicine. That's what it is. That's why they got biophoton therapy, sound therapy, and all these other therapies dealing with the energy of the air and light. And not only we got the most medical benefits of fasting in this age, we got the most medical benefits in breath work. You can even Google or get on YouTube and look at the scientific research done on yoga, done on Tai Chi, done on Qigong. They'll tell you what it do. It betters your health, bottom line, especially when you got a lifestyle that goes along with it. See, we tend to just grab one thing and act like that's it. Just because I eat half apples, I'm holistic. We're not talking about that. You're grabbing a whole lifestyle when you deal with breatharian health. So now we're going to read something real good. This is my good reader here. She read real good yesterday, good loud voice. But tell them what book you're reading out of.
It's Sri Aurobindo's The Supramental Manifestation upon Earth.
Now, many of y'all know that since we're here in Auroville. Aurobindo's book on
The Supramental Manifestation upon Earth.
Now look how even the title means something. The supramental manifestation on earth. We ain't talking about up in the clouds and heaven being up in the clouds no more. Something must manifest on earth, and it's going to come through the mind. That's why the Breatharian journey is 100% mental. When we were just doing that Qigong just now, we weren't working on our physical bodies. Your body don't even exist. It's going off of your thought process. It don't. The only time you think about it is when it's hurting. Think about it. The only time you're thinking about it is when there's a physical problem that you're identifying with. But if the problem's not there, you're not thinking about it. That's why there's a saying, use it till you lose it. So this is 100% mental, and this goes in alignment with the ancients were saying. In the Hermetic laws, the first one was, everything is mental. This comes from ancient times. Thousands of years they said that. And now, the scientific arena today, everybody's going into consciousness. Everybody's talking about it. It goes way beyond string theory. They can't even get no math for string theory, so that don't even exist. Serious. It won't line up. But everybody's going to consciousness. That's the next frontier. You know how they used to say space is the final frontier? The mind is the final frontier. It always had been. But humanity has been unconscious through some seasons. Now, what did that mean? That don't mean it was passed out. That was mean there was a lack of ignorance taking place on how energy works. And you hooked up with energy. Everybody here is dealing with physics at a high level. You just don't know it, don't have the calculation. But whether if you realize it or not, ignorance is no excuse for the law. Now listen, now here she go read.
Okay. It's called perfection of the body.
Perfection of the body. And that word perfection scares a lot of people. And all that is saying is that something is worked on until it has no faults in it. Something is worked on until it has no faults on it. In other words, it's working. That's all. We ain't need to make it far-fetched. I'm perfect because my body works. We got it to a working level. Just like a piece of machinery. Oh, it's working perfect today. Because it has no faults in it. It's not broke down. It sounds good. It's running good. That's perfection. And if this is a bio machine or a biocomputer, we want it to work. Now, out in the world, they say at least 80% of diseases takes place in the colon. So that means that people's colons are not working properly. That's what it means. But if it's you don't have a disease that's being created in the colon, that means it works. You're a perfect being. Or that's a perfect colon. It should work. So a breatharian, that's why in ancient times they said to eat very little or none at all. Longevity. And today we know that more than ever. You overeat, it's going to cause problems. You overeat, you're going to wake up hungry the next day. And you're going to be in a cycle. Over and over again until something manifests. Now, we're good at manifesting sicknesses, ain't we? So that's why when he gave this title, the Supramental
Manifestation.
The super manifestation on earth, we use the mind to manifest chaos and sickness, illness, disease, and death. That's not far-fetched. We agree on that. But imagine having a perfect society. That just means a society that works. A perfect people. That means people that work. A perfect body. A body that's working. But that's going to happen from somebody's thought process of how their behavior is. Remember we talked about this subconscious mind yesterday, and we said it's the body? And the body will, how did I say that? It will make sure, it will work both day and night to make sure that your desires of your behavior is met. There's no force to be reckoned with. So your body's creating your reality. So if we could get this body upgraded into perfection, everything else will be manifested here on earth. That's what that title said in that book. Now we're going to read.
The perfection of the body, as great a perfection as we can bring about by the means at our disposal, must be the ultimate aim of physical culture.
It must be the ultimate aim of physical culture. And he said, bring it up to par as best of your disposal. The best you can. Put your best foot forward. So that's why the Breatharian knowledge is for everybody. You just jumping on to where you at. But everybody's dealing with health on the planet. I was even in a Muslim culture when they tried to indoctrinate me. You don't believe in Allah? Well, why should I? But as we talked long enough, it wasn't long before Allah, no disrespect, was out of the window. We were talking about down-to-earth human stuff, and guess what the conversation ended up being? Pretty soon the men were saying, oh, I do need to leave this alone. I do need to get rid of this stomach. I do need to stop smoking this hash. I do need to stop drinking this alcohol. That's what the conversation. I do need to change my diet. It went to a health conversation. Because this is what we deal in everyday life for the moment. Everything else is a belief system. It's out the window. So this message be to everybody. And they didn't even know I was a breatharian. I just started bringing it soon. My whole goal, as I was sitting in front of them, was to use best as my disposal to always keep my body in perfection. That's why I didn't do none of the habits they did. And when they seen that, they all rotated into what I was talking about. In other words, I was the manifestation of the perfect God of the temple right in their face. I don't care what people say, because you're having a mindset to bring the higher energies of perfection to give immortality, to give self-sustainability, manifested power. I like how one brother said yesterday, when you talk about happiness and stuff, and he said it's in the air, but we have to bring it forth. It's in the air. And remember we said the air is a substance? Well, let's go deeper than this. There's a reason why they got a thing called pranayama, and it's so powerful. Because when you're doing breath work, breath is consciousness. It is consciousness. When you see a body at a funeral, the breath is gone. The consciousness is gone. That's what we call death. Their breath left the body. So that's why in Genesis in the Bible, God breathed into Adam and he became a living soul. He became a conscious being. He woke up. That's what gives you life. The breath and consciousness is one and the same. So if we're sitting up here breathing this atmosphere is a living gas. That's why it's fulfilling your wishes. It knows what you want. It knows your heart is going through you. It nourishes the cells of your body. But if you don't want it to nourish the cells of your body, it'll let that come down too. Oh, you want to die? Oh, you want to be sick? You want to be blocked up? All right. It ain't begging you. That's what you want to do. But if you want to grab this other mind, he said to grab that mind, you're grabbing everything at your disposal to bring forth this perfect body. All right, let's keep reading.
Perfection is the true aim of all culture.
Oh man, of all culture. It's the true aim of all cultures. You want life to be easier. Why wouldn't it be? Everywhere I went on the planet, everybody want life to be easier from where they at. All right, let's roll.
The spiritual, the psychic, the mental, the vital, and it must be the aim of our physical culture too.
And it must be the aim of our physical culture too, because what we live in, a physical body. So that don't even make sense in the past, when religions and spirituality threw the body out the window. We know they did. They assassinated us. We're going to call it. They took part in the system. That's why the system was running things on a lower level, because the spirituality was dictated by the governments who wanted to rule. That's who it came from. We might as well admit it, we ate it. But to rebel, we got to get back in our physical bodies. Why should you give it up and this is where you live? You get evicted from here. So you get evicted from a physical house, you could go get another house. You can. You could get a tent, sleep on the street, you ain't gonna die, but you get evicted from here, it's over with. So they disregarded it, but we bringing it back so something can manifest on the earth or it won't be manifested. All right, let's roll.
If our seeking is for a total perfection of the being, the physical part of it cannot be left aside.
Oh my gosh. Now, when did he write this book? Anybody know? It's right in there.
I don't know where.
But anyway, no, you don't need to look for it. My mind just went. I was talking out loud. The physical body can't be ignored.
For the body is the material basis, the body is the instrument which we have to use.
That we have to use, or you won't be here. And then old spirituality, we thought being spiritual, you had to go lock yourself in a cave away from humanity. You should have never got a body. That's not spirituality. You are to be with the whole, having a good life experience on a high spiritual level. What's wrong with that? We made it foolishness. Oh man, let's keep reading.
Shariram khalu dharma sadhanam.
Oh, I'm glad you can read that.
Says the old Sanskrit adage. The body is the means of fulfillment of dharma, and dharma means every ideal which we can propose to ourselves and the law of its working out and its action.
Oh my gosh, it's the body. We got to give it higher value. That's where you practice your dharma. It ain't stuck up in your head. It's the body how you carry out these things, these actions, this life experience, the energy of it. Now let's keep rolling.
A total perfection is the ultimate aim which we set before us.
And a total perfection is the ultimate aim that we set before us. Now we're using that word perfection. I was just in Goa, as some girl said, our whole aim in life is to ascend. That's the word she was using. Same thing, play on words. Your whole life and thing in life is to grow to the best you can. That's what they're saying. Oh man, that's why when you look at preventable diseases of the Western cultures, high blood pressure, liver ailments, strokes, diabetes, I could go on and on. But notice they put them under the title, preventable diseases. That means they could have been prevented. They didn't have to happen. And I had a relative to say, and I say this a lot, well, high blood pressure runs in our family. And I said, well, I don't have it. So what are you talking about? But then again, I understood what they was talking about. Yeah, nobody is running in the family. That's why they got high blood pressure. Yeah, nobody is running. I can see that. So that's why preventive medicine is the most powerful medicine. When you live a lifestyle that don't even open up that door. Don't even go to that frequency. That's a frequency. That's what we're talking about. That's a mental manifestation on earth that came about through a mental behavior. That's why Western culture is suffering. People are ignorant to the higher forces. But the breatharian knowledge ain't far-fetched. All it's going to do is keep growing. It can't be stopped now. This is energy medicine. It's a mental lifestyle. You just don't do a series of things until you become a breatharian. That's what people think. And then from there, you ain't got to make no more choices and no, it's a continual lifestyle. You can live as long as you want until you give up. You can kill yourself. People have been doing that. We're good at it. But now it's time to live. All right, let's roll.
A total perfection is the ultimate aim which we set before us, for our ideal is the divine life which we wish to create here, the spirit of the life of the spirit fulfilled on earth. life accomplishing its own spiritual transformation, even here on earth, in the conditions of the material universe.
Oh my gosh. Now, all religions all talk about some type of transformation. Now, whether they got perverted or not, there's still bits and pieces of truth in them. They all talk about a transformation. To transform the material. This is our jobs. To make it into perfection, where everything works. But it begins with us, the individual. You got to take a look at yourself. And we're good at transforming. But the transforming we was used to was just because you bought a new outfit and did your hair, that is a transformation. It looks good, but we're talking about an internal one. Where we going right into the organs, give them a higher influx of energy because we can. That's why meditation is the foundation. Directly. What they call photosynthesis. If the plants could do it, and you're more powerful than the plant. Serious. You got to stay right there. That tree been here yesterday when we left. You came back and had all these adventures. And then you connected with the sun just like he did. We're more powerful than that. Now let's keep reading.
That cannot be unless the body too undergoes a transformation.
So that can't be until the body goes through a transformation. See, we're talking the same thing. The body must go through a transformation. Let's keep reading.
Unless its action and functioning attain to a supreme capacity and the perfection which is possible to it, or which can be made possible.
And that's it. Now that's good. Oh my gosh. That's a lot, ain't it? See, you can't read all this book in one night. You only can read it in bits and pieces like that, and you gotta go sit on it. Right in the 1950s. So 1950s that was written. And the thing about it, these writings been from other spiritual beings on the planet to tell you that it's clarifying itself, but it don't change. They're talking the same thing, but the timing wasn't there yet for it to be fully in its fullness. See, all generations is the same generation because we're all one being. So it's sort of like an underground railroad. Y'all take this piece for this generation, and then it just grows. But now, I had to remind somebody today. They said, well, we're still far off. I said, no, we're not. How can we be far off and I'm a breatharian? You ain't never seen that before. How did I do that? It's a mental thing. You connected with the higher forces. I did it through meditation. I be telling y'all. Have y'all been changing since we've been meditating? Working with this energy? You doing things day by day you wasn't doing before. You feel a lot more relaxed, more energy is getting through the body. And that's just been a short time period I've been here. You should make this your life. Oh man, channeling energy. Y'all been making balls. You ain't been doing that before. From here on out, you should do it every day. Healing yourself. You can do it. You know you can. There's no way in the world you should catch a cold. I ain't catch a cold in 20 years. That's just mucus in the body. If you stop putting the mucus there, it won't happen. Why can't we put this together? See, this is like a scolding at the same time, but to get everybody motivated. This is your body and your house. Now, I don't know what everybody else been doing with these loose words. I've been meditating for 20 years. Why I got diabetes? Well, look at your stomach. You ain't been moving. What you been eating? I don't care if you just been sitting there. We're not talking about that. He's talking about a mind that's going to move this body because it loves to move. And you're going to train it like that. And it's going to live like that here on out. Bringing in energy. That's what it does. It feeds off of energy. And science is backing us up. You keep digging. Ultimately, they're going to tell you the cells of the body eat off of energy. We know we can find that. and you made of cells. That don't even make sense, do it? And then Einstein helped us out by saying everything is energy. A light bulb should go off. You can feed off that table. You can touch the table and get the energy from it. This is something, ain't it? But we got to get that mind to start doing these things. I'm just reminding you. There's energy coming from Earth. We ain't even trying. 528 hertz, they say. Hitting us right now.
This is confusing for me because on the one hand we're saying that, for example, in the Qigong, that even if you're not thinking about it,
Right.
your mind could do anything, you're still receiving it.
Yep.
And my experience is that my thoughts are there's this blocking energy because when I am energetic or focused,
Yeah.
then I feel the energy in a very different way. I feel it traveling through me.
Good question. Well, the Qigong, the reason why I present this is because you ain't got to think about nothing. I know your mind going to do all types of stuff, but y'all still feeling the energy going through the body. That's what you're saying. But your thoughts are somewhere else, but the energy is still being conducted through the body. So that right there is making you aware that there's a thing called physical consciousness. See, we just looked at this body as being dead, but it has its own consciousness. Now listen at this, because it don't care it does it to keep you alive, because you don't know no better. In other words, listen at this. Let's take our central nervous system. You have two parts of it. One part, I forgot what it's called. You got your automatic one and your sympathetic. And one of them works without your conscious thinking. And most of it does. It don't need you. But it does that to keep us alive. That's the part you were just working with. So you won't get confused. Your thoughts was way over here, but the energy was still high in the hands. It didn't even need you. And that's good to know. That's good to know because that's why when he wrote that book, Everything is Happening, our body right now, even a person with a bad lifestyle, their body is doing the best they can to keep them alive without them even thinking about it. And I know we always see those people that been abusing themselves and you wondering, how is they still around? Body consciousness. But now what we're trying to do is grab our consciousness that we think with, give it a better education to work with this physical consciousness. Because that's why the body, this is where it's at. It's always in the now moment. It works with the present energy right now. This right here might not do it. The only time it does it is when we do go into meditation and you want to focus it. But other than that, it's blah, 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 all over the place. But this is always consecrated. It's always in alignment, the best it can. But when we bring these two houses together, that's why they talk about the Breatharian lifestyle is a holistic lifestyle. What is holistic? Mind, body, energy connection. Mind, body, spirit. So we're bringing the energy together with some better conscious thinking, and the body already knows how to go from there. See, this is a given. The body knows where to go from there if you give it the time. If you want to eat steak every day, it can process it. It'll be working with energy. But it's your conscious mind who's doing it. But if you want to give it something lighter, the body will handle that energy too, but it'll be easier for the body and it'll give you a better outcome. This is what we talk about, bringing it together. So meditation is the tool to build that bridge. And then you can start living a life of yoga or a life of Tai Chi. What did that mean? That means that everything you're doing is meditation. Because the thoughts are not blocking the energy flow, even when you're just thinking about day-to-day stuff, because you're staying out of arguments and chaos. You're staying out of stressful situations. Everything is nourishment when you wake up to this. And then the more and more your energy channels open up, that's what opens up your inner eye. You can start seeing the oneness in everything. A person with a low energy don't see the oneness. That's why they what we call duality. Everything's separate from me. Everything's trying to fight me. I got enemies. But the more your energy open up, which is you, everything is under one energy, but different manifestations in our form. We're using the same energy as that dog, but it's manifested due to its form, as being a dog. That's something there. So that tells you this is consciousness. The reason why you think like a human is due to the body you're in. If you was in that dog's body, you wouldn't think like you're thinking right now. It'll conform to that consciousness. Oh man, did we say that? Now listen at this. I'm gonna have her read it, so this can make sense. We've been reading it, but we gotta let it soak in one more time. My voice might not get it. Now listen at this. Now, what he was just saying isn't far-fetched, because when we kept reading day after day, and in today's spirituality, they keep using the term, raise your frequency and vibration. Do y'all be hearing that? Raise your frequency and vibration. It's on everybody's lips in today's spirituality. So how did I become a Breatharian, and how does a person become a Breatharian? You must raise your vibration. You must raise and maintain a certain vibration. How do you know you're going to raise your vibration? All right, but before we get into that, and what he was saying, a perfect body, that you must do everything in your power, basically at your disposal, to raise your vibration. That's what he's saying, to bring it in perfection. Now, this is how you raise your vibration.
The higher the frequency of your energy or vibration, the higher you feel in your physical, emotional, and mental bodies.
All right, stop right there. When you raise your frequency or vibration, the lighter you will feel. That's why this is a feeling state. In your physical, emotional, and mental bodies. My body feels way differently. Back when I was 190 pounds, 86 kilos, back then when I was eating Salisbury steak and gravy. I'm the same person, but I have a whole different feeling state. My lifestyle is completely different, and I'm living in a completely different reality. Do I want to go back to that reality? Absolutely not. That was death. How was it death? Because my blood pressure was rising, and if I didn't get off of that, I'm sure I would have ran into other problems that was right around the corner. This is what we're talking about. It was a lifestyle. All right, let's roll.
Your physical, emotional, you experience greater personal power, clarity, peace, love, and joy.
And you will experience, because life is about experiences, right? You don't have no more bad experiences. Some people can't comprehend that, because we've been taught you can wake up on the wrong side of the bed. When it rains, it pours. You just can't have a good day every day. That's not balance. You gotta have bad days. That's how the world was taught. Higher vibration don't teach that. That's out the window. A high vibration is what it is. It has clarity, peace, love, and joy, because it feels lighter in its physical body, emotional body, and mental body. Oh man, that's why I was having that experience.
You have little, if any, discomfort or pain in your physical body, and your emotions are easily dealt with.
So when a high vibration, now let's go back to the Western countries, the superpowers. Well, most people got a preventive pandemic taking place of health. It could have been prevented. They don't believe they can heal themselves. They got pain and discomfort in their physical bodies. But the average person thinks that that's supposed to take place. It's natural. It's normal. Or they'll blame it on their age. But due to this, it didn't say that. Now, over 20 years ago, when I was eating Salisbury steak and gravy, weighing all that weight and had high blood pressure, and here I am 20 plus years later, my body is better than it was then. How did that happen? Oh my God. How did I? All right, a raised vibration. But not only raising a vibration, you have to maintain it. So you have to keep doing those things that's going to keep you on that vibration, or you could lose it. Yeah, you could go backwards if you want to, for whatever reason. We can't be spooky with it. So read that one more time, the last one, so it can soak in.
You have little, if any, discomfort or pain in your physical body, and your emotions are easily dealt with.
And your emotions are easily dealt with. Emotions are natural. Everybody have them. They was given to you by nature. But they're easily dealt with when you are at a high vibration. You don't stay angry for weeks. That's something, ain't it? People do that. Wow. So going back to what he was saying, in what book is that called? The Supermind?
The Supramental Manifestation upon earth.
Manifestation upon earth. Manifestation upon earth. And he said it must begin with the physical body. I'm so glad he said that. Because if you ain't got the physical, and that's the thing about it, there's many good communities that's built on the planet. That started off with a good idea, but their physical bodies wasn't in it. And you know what happened? They all fell to the ground. I've been to them. They had a good idea. That ain't mean nothing. It all fell to the ground because their bodies wasn't into it. So we need to understand, you get your body into it, your project, your community, your state will last. Because this the one goes on forever. Physical matter always comes and goes. Now this comes and goes too, but this is what we're saying. You can regenerate it. Remember we talked about that in the lessons? It keep regenerating itself over and over again. So you constantly dying and being born again. That's what being born again means. It don't mean you hit the grave and then you come back as a baby. We ain't talking about that. You're constantly renewing yourself. Over and over again. A new liver, literally. New skin, new eyes, new bones. What they say every 7 years, 7 to 10 years. But if you stay in that cycle, you're gonna see it. That's why I told you 2 decades later, in my personal life, my body is operating better than when I was 20 years ago. And it's not eating no Salisbury steak, wouldn't even think about it. It's connected with the air. Now let's read this one part so it can soak in. Oh, here we go. It's connected with the air. Now we all live in the air. Everybody's living in the air. So they used to make fun of the Breatharian knowledge by saying, I don't see how somebody could say they could just live off of air. You know, people will laugh, they try to be. But now we don't back down. After I get done with them, we get to rolling up our sleeves. See, because being a skeptic is necessary, because a skeptic helps a person get more on their game. You shouldn't be mad at a skeptic. That makes you get more on their game. They're skeptic all in science, dealing with different science. When somebody come out with something, somebody challenge them to see if it's true or to make it pass the test of time. That's what it's for. That's all it is. And if you're about what you're about, you should be able to prove it and say it. Now, where my part is at? I've been reading this for the longest, but it got to soak in. I said it so much, we know about heart. About the living gases. Oh, here we go. Wait a minute. So I'm all excited. I can't even see. You know how you get so excited you can't even think straight? Oh man, where's it at here? Every day it's right in my face. I got to read it verbatim. Hold on, we almost here. We got to get this to soak in. So when somebody repeat it to you over and over again, and you're living in something that's actually nourishing you, and if you don't know that, and it can heal you and do all this other good stuff, and we taking it for granted, and it's right at your fingertips. That's why the Bible keeps talking about the works of your hands. Yeah, it's talking about your literal hands. What is your habits? What is your hands picking up? What is it doing? That's why I tell people all the time when I be talking to people, I don't know your full lifestyle. I'm not with you every day. You can tell me all types of things. All I drink is the dew off the grass. All right, I got to say this one verbatim. It wasn't meant for me to find it if I can't find it. So yoga is to live a full physical life. So when you deal with the Breatharian knowledge again, let's go back to that so we can make it make sense, since this is a Breatharian retreat. Now I hope you're finding out where I'm going at. You have an electrical system, an energy system in your body. Can y'all catch that? You have a straight up energy system in your body. Everybody does. And it's bringing a flow of energy through everybody's body. This is what we're saying. It's bringing an energy flow of energy through everybody's body. When that energy gets hampered or blocked up through any means, it could be emotional trauma, food, bad lifestyle, and all this other stuff. We feel it as the manifestation of aches and pains. That's how it starts out. If you don't correct it, it becomes into a sickness. And a sickness you can easily get rid of, like a cold. All you have to do is rest, and the cold will relieve itself. If you still don't do nothing about it, it'll turn into an illness. Now, what is an illness? An illness is a little tougher than a cold, sort of like chicken pox or measles. Your body can heal it, but it needs more time to deal with that blockage in order to heal itself. Then last but not least, a disease. If you don't take care of it, it's going to turn into a disease. And a disease takes longer to deal with. Like I told you, I met that woman in Israel who defeated cancer. But when you look at her face, it was no easy battle. She ain't smiling. She went through some things. It's right now she lives a lifestyle that you would have never seen that she used to be sick. I just seen her waking up one morning before she even told me that she was going to go meet the sun from a good distance from her house. That was part of her walk, to go meet the sun, to go in the woods, to do her exercise and do her meditation. That's part of her lifestyle. Now, before we even met about the Breatharian knowledge. That's what type of lifestyle you need for the Breatharian knowledge. The body requires a lot of energy. How you gonna think you're gonna be fed off the forces if you ain't strengthening up your energy channels in the body to get more energy? We ain't been thinking about that, have we? So of course people hurt themselves and died in the past. Did I say that? Yeah, that's why it happened. It was already a sick vessel. Lack of knowledge. Didn't know what to do. They thought it was something else. That God supposed to just come save me because I believe in God. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Oh man, did we say that? So in his book, he's saying there's a transformation process. We have to transform. Transformation means you're going to function totally different, that organism or that mechanism, than it did before. Totally different. It's a new contraption. It looks at things differently. It behaves differently. It don't act the same. So right now, we will go into our Merkabah meditation. Now the Merkabah meditation is very powerful. It wasn't meant for me to find it. The Merkabah meditation, again, we're going through the energy channels on the spinal cord. Putting our consciousness there. See, look at that mental mind. It's a mental thing to physically open up the energy channels with our thought process so they can open up more and more through repetition so that it can bring more energy into the body. And it's the energy that's going to transform the physical body, hands down. That's why meditation is medication. When the energy channels are fully open in the organism, that's what we call a high vibration. And it don't see sicknesses like normal people. It does not happen. Well, how about if this? No, it don't. That's wild, ain't it? We got to let this kick in. Boy, this was a hardcore message, wasn't it? We had to come with it. But anyway, y'all ready for some microcosmic orbit? All right, let's roll. And make it nice and strong and shoot it into the video. All of that energy. As we heal the earth. Coming from Auroville, India. Make it even stronger. Nice, powerful vibration. Make it even stronger. We've been working on our energies day by day. Now we're sharing it with the world. Feel that energetic flow. 15 more seconds. Just let it flow. Nice and strong. All this love, joy, peace, as we share our energy with the world. Now we can rub our hands together, give ourselves a nice energy shout.